Good morning, and welcome to another little adventure. Today we're going to be going to Grindstaff Cave, which is in Carter County, Tennessee. What I'm going to try to do is do a little bit of filming in the cave, as much as I can. This, of course, is not a dedicated video camera with a night shot feature, so it'll be limited on what I can actually do in the cave. I brought some candles and some things like that, and we'll see what we can accomplish. But more than likely what I'll end up doing is taking some still shots and incorporating those into our little adventure today. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started and head off to the Grindstaff Cave. Okay, we're on our way to the entrance of Grindstaff Cave. Along the way, there's this magnificent limestone bluff on the right-hand side. In fact, the very first time that I ever went searching for this cave, I thought I'd found the bluff that the entrance was located in, but it's not. I am sure, however, that if you were to dig into the side of this bluff, you'd eventually hit the cave. You probably wouldn't have to go very far at all. And I hear a pileated woodpecker serenading me from the treetops. I don't know if you can hear that or not. They make a very distinctive noise. But anyway, let's continue to the cave entrance, shall we? Alrighty, and here we are at the entrance to not Grindstaff Cave. This is Laurel Springs Cave. We pass it along the way to the Grindstaff Cave entrance, and it actually is a decent little cave. It's about 500 feet or so. It's got a few climbs, got some pretty formations and everything in it, and but we're going to be going to the Grindstaff Cave today, so we're going to go ahead and continue along the trail. Alrighty, and here we are just inside the entrance to Grindstaff Cave, the smaller entrance. There is a larger entrance, which is actually a lot more impressive than the one I came into. However, the larger entrance is right across the creek from a person who believes that it's part of his property. And from what I've heard, it's not. And he really doesn't have any right to say anything to people going in and out of the cave. But let's be non-confrontational today and just enjoy the cave and not worry about things like that. You can see the colors of autumn are setting into the area fairly well. That's a pretty nice shot. Let's see if we can get a shot around the room here real quick. Alrighty, we're just inside the entrance chamber. The light that you see is coming through the small entrance that I just showed you. And it's actually providing fairly decent illumination, I mean, all things considered. Like I said, this is just a regular still shot Canon camera that happens to have a movie feature on it. But it's good for shooting YouTube videos and things of that nature. It's actually picking up in here pretty well. I've got a fairly bright LED light here. There we go. That puts a little light on the subject. Yeah, maybe we'll be able to shoot a little video as we go through the cave. The entrance chamber is actually fairly big. This breakdown boulder that's directly in front of me is about the size of a small car. And up here we've got some draperies and things of that nature. Don't know how well those are coming into focus. Probably not at all, since I was focused on something a lot more close up, but you can get an idea of the shape. And the ceiling goes way up here, so it gets pretty big in here. The cave itself is about 1.1 miles of mapped passages. And of course we're only going to be seeing probably about maybe 500-600 feet of that. Okay, now this interesting little formation here is actually, this is cave coral, and it's growing on another little flowstone formation here alongside the cave wall. We're going down the main passage of the cave. This is the main room of the cave back this way, and I know this isn't going to pick this up by any means. It's just, well, maybe a little bit, it's just too huge. I did take a couple of shots of it though, that you'll see later on in the presentation. And I did that by just leaving the camera shutter open and painting the walls with light. I took my headlamp and another lamp and just kind of swept them back and forth over the cave walls, and hopefully that'll come out. I'll take you down this passage just a little bit, very little, because it's not exactly the safest thing in the world to be walking down this passage while I'm holding a camera in my hand and not looking at the floor really well. But you can just get an idea of the structure of the cave. Here's a little overlying shelf, and of course it goes up. The main ceiling's up in this direction. And this is our main passage here. Floor is fairly flat right through here. And by flat I mean free of large holes and things of that nature. But it's got its ups and downs just like anything else in life. And oh, thank you for painting the arrow on the side of the wall, pointing the way out, the obvious way out, the only way out. Yes, indeed. Thank you for defacing the cave. Love ya. Alrighty, we've come to a split in the passage here. I'm going to turn on my bright LED light so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. So we can either go down and to the left, or up and to the right. And I've been both ways, and up and to the right not only is larger, but it's also safer. There's a lot of crawling through some pretty torturous crawlways and things of that nature when you go to the left. It opens up to a nice stream passage, but I think this would definitely be the way to go. So, let's do it. Alrighty. Right now I'm sitting on the edge of a little pit here. Actually, it's not all that little. It goes down quite a ways. And I'm going to shush for a second. You can hear water rushing pretty well down at the bottom. Listen. Don't know if you can hear that or not. Now, I have been down there before, and the way we're going to go is right along this ledge here. Wish I could get a wider angle with this light. Anyway, there's the drop off. We're going to go along the ledge. There's a foothold there, and you kind of crawl along here and along the ledge further into this area here, and the passage gets pretty large, but it's nice and flat. And from that end of the pit you can actually go down this far wall that my light isn't even touching. It's touching the boulder in front of me. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot safer, and it slants down at a much more casual angle. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and at least get to this back part of the cave over here, and probably stop there for a while and just relax. And we'll check you in a minute. Alrighty, I've gone as far as I'm going to go. And this is a really cool little chamber right here. It's fairly large, not as large as some of the other passages. And you can see where I've got a couple of candles going here and there. I'll turn around behind me slowly so as not to make you dizzy. There we go. And it goes off in this direction too. This is the ceiling here and the floor here. So anyway, I'm going to take a couple of still shots of this chamber, and the reason I'm not using the bright LED light is because I've got it sitting over here to the side, and I've got the cap off of it, and it's helping to illuminate this entire chamber here. And you're not being able to pick that up on video, but once I set the shutter speed to stay open for a few seconds, it should capture the room nicely. Between that and me sweeping my headlamp, let's see if we can get a fairly decent shot here. Signing off for now. Well, hello and welcome back. Where we're at now is at that junction where earlier I could have taken a left or a right. I chose to take a right not only because of the spaciousness of the cavern, but I just thought it'd be a safer bet. And obviously I was right, because here I am still walking and talking and while shooting this video. And what you're seeing on your screen at this point is where I've put the LED light down amongst some rocks and took the cap off of it. So it's, at this point, it's kind of like an LED candle, and it really lights up this chamber nicely. Unfortunately, the sensor on the camera is not sensitive enough to pick that up. If I pan away just a little bit, you can see it's complete blackness, but I can actually see fairly well in here. So I need to keep the camera aimed directly at a light source. Up above here is my headlamp, and you see it's definitely two different types of light, but it does allow me to see in here and allows the camera sensor to pick up a little bit better as well. What we're going to be doing is going out here towards the right. Let's see if I can pan around It's hardly even picking up my headlamp on the walls at this point. There we go, a little bit. And down this way is the way back to the entrance, and that's the way that we are headed. And I've really enjoyed this journey, and I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and shut down now for a little bit. I'm going to sit in here a little while longer and continue to listen to the whisper of bat wings and the slight droning of the creek in the background. But I will be signing off. So until next time, take care.